I congratulate Senator McCain for saying something good about American workers. I think it's good that Senator McCain is celebrating the American worker today. But it would have been nice if over the last 26 years that he's been in Washington, that he actually stood up for them once in a while. It would have been nice if he didn't vote against the minimum wage 19 times, or if he didn't vote to privatize Social Security and hand it over to Wall Street. It would have been nice if he had opposed the tax cuts for corporations that have shipped jobs overseas, or the hundreds of billions of dollars in corporate tax giveaways that have helped plunge our country into crippling debt. It would have been nice if he had a plan to lower the health care costs of American workers or get them any health care whatsoever. And it would have been nice if he had championed a single plan to make college more affordable or to make young people better able to get retrained if they lose their job. Senator McCain, you can't run away from your words and you can't run away from your record. When it comes to this economy, you've stood firmly with George Bush and a failed economic theory, and what you're offering the American people is more of the same. And that's why we can't afford John McCain, because this country can't afford another 4 years of failed philosophies. We can't afford 4 more years of what we've had the last 8. For years, I've called for us to modernize the rules of the road to suit a 21st century marketplace. Rules that would protect American investors and consumers. I've called for policies that grow our economy and our middle class together. For years, I have fought to make sure that workers have basic rights and that they've got a minimum wage and that they are protected at the workplace. And in 50 days, you'll have the chance to bring about the changes that we have been talking about throughout this campaign. In 50 days, you'll walk into that voting booth, pull back that curtain, and choose the future that you want for Colorado, the future you want for Pueblo, the future you want for America. That's what this election's about. This is a defining moment in our history. They don't come around that often, but this is one of them. A moment when our nation is in the middle of 2 wars. A moment when our economy is in turmoil. A moment when the very values that have made America what it is are being threatened by the politics and policies of Washington. What's under assault in that city is nothing less than the idea that America is a place where you can always make it if you try. That in this country, anyone with the drive and the will should be able to find a job that pays the living wage and that supports a family. That in America, we don't just reward wealth, but we respect the workers and the work who create all our wealth. What's at stake in this election is whether this nation in the 21st century will continue to be the last best hope on earth. That's what this election is about. It's not about me or Joe Biden. It's not about John McCain or Sarah Palin. It's not about Paris Hilton. It's not about Britney Spears. It's not about lipstick. It's not about pigs. It's about you, Pueblo. It's about you, the American people. It's about whether you'll be able to sell your home for what it's worth, or whether you'll put enough money away each week so that someday you can watch your child accept a college diploma. It's about whether you'll finally have leaders who understand what's going on in the lives of people, who haven't spent their lives in Washington. Leaders who haven't forgotten why we sent them there. Leaders who will fight for you now and tomorrow and next year and 10 years from now. People who understand what Americans are going through each and every day. I began this race as the one candidate who hasn't spent a lot of time steeped in the ways of Washington. But I've been there long enough to know that if we want to keep the promise of America alive, the ways of Washington, they must change. And they must change now. Not yesterday, not 4 days from now, they need to change right now. We have to change a system of special interests and of lobbyists who've turned our government into a game that only they can afford to play. We have to change the Karl Rove brand of politics that we've seen in the last few weeks. The politics that would divide this country just to win an election, where phony debates and false advertisement, lies and spin consume a campaign that should be about you, that should be about the issues, the great challenges of our time.